Welcome to Garage Sales Unhinged,
where the characters are as quirky as the finds.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jake.
Join us as we dive into the wild world of garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, and anywhere secondhand sales are happening.
From bizarre bargains to hilarious haggles.
You won't believe the stories we've got lined up.
Let's get unhinged. We're recording in person today.
Yes.
It's been a minute since we've done that. Everything else has been,
In virtual land.
Right. So I'm just not used to us sitting in chairs with our knees almost touching. This is weird. But that's what I'm responding to. I'm just uncomfortable. It's a great start.
Am I taller in person?
yeah.
Well, so the reason Jacob and I are in person today is that we are going to do a gift exchange because the holidays are here and we had a fun little test to do a gift exchange. And also for our listeners, we will not have a new episode for the next 2 weeks because of the holidays and taking some time off to spend with family and friends and honestly, just by myself.
It tis the season to watch some TV.
Oh, and also we have a couple of the intro subscriptions, so we're not paying for some things right now. And my butt groove in the couch is going to be deep and warm.
Yeah, this is the time. Honestly, now's the time to put the reminders in your phone as to when those trial periods end, so you can just cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Hulu's doing this thing where for $1 you can get this for 9 months.
Yeah.
And for sure. Buy once it's over. My whole thing is I canceled Netflix because I realized, it's $15 and am I really using it that much? No. And I'll turn it back on when the new Stranger Things comes out. Mm-hmm. After that, who knows? But that's the whole purpose now.
We're kind of in the same boat. We are at the point now that if we want to watch something, we will turn on the subscription.
Right.
And then binge watch it and then turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of subscriptions that we keep just because we do constantly watch the same series on there, the new seasons, all that stuff. But I got rid of Netflix a while back. We don't have Hulu, which all my friends are appalled by. But you know what? My life is still pretty good without having all the subscriptions.
How funny that that's a topic of conversation among friends. I can't believe you're not subscribed to Hulu. How could you? Why are they taken aback by that?
Because they think that I'm with it. They think that I'm on top of all the cool stuff in the world. And I'm not. I'm just cool.
Yeah, no, well, I was going to say we could disabuse them of that notion pretty quick. But so unless you are up to speed on Abbott Elementary, you're not down for the struggle.
Yeah. Well, so I also cheat. So because I travel so much, I watch a lot of newer shows on a plane.
Okay.
So instead of Snakes on a Plane, it's free TV on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's have you seen, what's the one off of Apple TV about soccer? Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
They're like, have you seen Ted Lasso? And I was like, I think I've seen a couple of episodes because they were provided by the airplane.
Yeah.
I haven't actually sat down and watched the whole thing. I've
I've
heard it's enlightening and it's very, it's a good show, but I'm sure it is. And in 20 years, I'll watch it. But right now, I just have other stuff going on.
Yeah. Feeling entertained comes with a premium. And it's up to everybody to decide what that's worth to them.
Well, it's also funny, I just said, hey, we're going to share gifts. And I'm sure people are going, okay, so what's the frickin' gift?
Yeah.
Let's take people back to us as being kids.
Okay.
You and our older brother Richie would wake up super freaking early Christmas morning, excited, want to open up gifts, ready to play with all the toys and all the newness of everything.
Oh, what you're describing is children on Christmas. Children behaving in a natural, normal way on Christmas morning. And I'm expecting you to have some problem with this.
Well, because I'm logical. It doesn't matter if we wake up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. or whenever you guys wanted to wake up. The presents were still going to be there at 10 a.m. And I didn't need to get out of bed early to go open up a gift that I could open up later in the day after I am well rested And you and Richie would get so mad because Mom and Dad would be like, no, all of you have to be here before we open gifts. And so you and Richie would come into my bedroom to wake me up, which was rude. Rude. And remember one time, I think Mom and Dad tried to get us to eat breakfast before opening gifts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty big ask. Yeah.
I mean, and as kids, we did not say curse words in our house or anything, but it came real close that morning because I'm like, woman, there are presents under that tree from Santa. He knows me. Let me go get that. Yeah. But again, at a proper time, like 10 a.m., not 5 or 6, or like the sun was not even considering coming up yet. But you and Richie were dead set on getting me
But didn't you have like build a sense of anticipation leading up to Christmas morning? I mean, weren't you like looking forward to the moment? And so when it was technically, it's 0 sleeps until Christmas. Wow, like you woke up, and the sooner you actually wake up, the sooner all that anticipation is over. Weren't you excited for Christmas?
Yeah, during waking hours, I was excited for Christmas. But I love to sleep. And you guys were trying to get me up whenever I was having one of my really weird freaking dreams. And you guys were like, come on, Christmas morning. And I was like, my comforter is warm. My bed is cozy. Absolutely not. Like, the anticipation of Christmas does not hit me whenever I'm trying to wake up in the morning.
Well, waking hours is a subjective concept.
Yeah, and mine, as a child, 10 a.m. was good. Now, waking hours now, I did wake up this morning, I think at 5:30 or 6. And also, I don't set an alarm. That's just me being an old person. But even then, I'm not really excited about the day until I had coffee.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah. And by the time I have coffee, I've been up for like 30 minutes to an hour if I'm taking a shower, getting ready, doing whatever I need to do in the house. And so, yeah, I'm still not... People think I'm a morning person because I wake up early. I'm not. Don't talk to me. Don't touch me. Yeah. But I need my coffee before I can actually start to operate.
I actually, I bought... You can buy them at like CVS or whatever in the vitamin section. There's caffeine pills.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to where I use those sometimes instead of coffee, sometimes in addition to coffee.
Oh, God.
Just to help.
I tried to convince my friends that those caffeine pills were suppositories.
Oh, that's right.
Apparently my friends can read instructions and are like, shut up, Julie, that's not what it is. Yeah. But I still think it'd be funny to like, Eddie, shove it on up there.
Well, it's, again, a better alternative than coffee. So you take a funnel.
Yeah. Okay, you ready to exchange some gifts? So let's give people the parameters of our little test here. So Jacob and I wanted to do a gift exchange. We had parameters that we had to buy it secondhand. We had a limit of $10.
$10 max.
$10 max. And you were encouraged to negotiate the price. So that was it. We had 3 parameters. You can get it at a thrift store, Goodwill, a garage sale, estate sale, wherever.
Nothing new, nothing off a shelf.
Yep.
Nothing that was, So it had to have been previously loved.
Or previously owned. We don't know if it was loved. But yes.
I don't like that term, previously loved. That just brings mattresses to mind. And that's not
And also, can something have all the love taken out of it? If it was previously loved and now it's like, I want something that was previously liked.
Yeah. Previously tolerated.
Well, yeah, because at some point they're like, I can't tolerate this anymore. Here, you have it.
Yeah.
Are you planning a garage sale, yard sale, or estate sale and need some help? Look no further than Garage Sale Supply. They provide top-notch resources and expert advice to help you host the perfect sale. From pricing tips to promotional strategies, they've got you covered. Visit GarageSaleSupply.com and make your next sale a success.
Okay, I want my gift first.
Okay. Well, now, I have gone through the trouble. I've gone through the trouble of. Did you wrap your gift?
Yes.
Oh, well, okay.
So
She just pointed at the gift. So, Julie, you just pointed at the gift you got for me. I asked whether it's wrapped. She points to it, and it's been in the room the whole time. I didn't realize it. It's just, whatever it is, it's large, and it's got a blanket draped over it. So that's the wrapping. Very good.
You'll understand once I unveil it like Vanna White as to like, oh, this makes sense.
Okay. Well, honestly, you did a little bit better than me. My festive wrapping was that I put these your presents in my jacket pocket. And now they are unwrapped.
It's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat, but it's pulling my presents out of your coat.
Right. So here are your presents. It's a 2. I got you 2. And I went through the liberty of leaving the price tags on them.
Wow.
So you can see the total price.
Oh, well, such a bargain. Jacob spent a total of $5.
That is correct.
Okay.
So would you describe what we've got here?
One of them looks like a deck of cards, but there's some not English words on it. I don't know what this means. But on the outside of this box of this looks like deck of cards, it looks like a beer bottle with a beer glass. And it is a deck of cards that are actually quite beautiful.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind this?
I was on my way to Goodwill to get your gift, do some hunting and everything like that. And I noticed an estate sale sign not far from my neighborhood. And I went, okay, well, I doubled back, found it, went to it. That's what this is. I got no story on this thing. I'm really not sure what this language is. I'm sure you could like Google one of the words.
It's German.
Thanks.
I can read a little bit of German, and one of the cards has German written on it.
But yeah, they're playing cards, but you know the design is a little different. The face cards look really unique.
Also, like for the Joker card, instead of it having a J on it, it has a B.
Right.
And I'm like, so is this like the bitch? Because the Queen card has a D on it, so it's Das Queen.
Yeah.
Now the K has a K on it.
Yeah, it's no fun.
Yeah, King.
But everybody looks a little more effeminate, so I thought that was good. So yes, a deck of playing cards that have a salute to alcoholism on the back. It made me think of you.
I love it. So as I'm looking at the face cards, so you have the King, Queen, and Jack. Mm-hmm. Each one of them has an individual character on it, and it's all different. Like usually our playing cards today, it has the same King, Queen, and Jack on each one. And it's just a different color, different suit. This one has a different color, different suit. But the individual people look different from the other kings, queens, and jacks.
So it's...
Or bitches.
A little more going on for it. So, goes to show, I spent $1 on what turns out to be a very unique deck of playing cards that no one else is going to have seen. You have, game night or something like that. No one's seen this kind of thing before. But it's recognizable enough that everyone could still, lose their shirt at poker effectively.
I love this. There's also like an informational card in here. It's all in German, and I'm like, I have no idea what game this is trying to teach me, but I'm gonna get on Duolingo and we're gonna figure this out.
Cool.
No, I'm not gonna get on Duolingo. That little owl can.
I've heard enough stuff. I haven't tried it, but everybody's mad at the owl.
Because the owl's very demanding of like, have you done this thing today? And you're like, no, my grandma's in the hospital. It's like, do it.
Yeah. Das ist gut.
Okay, so that was gift number 1. I'm super excited. And also, sorry, you only got one gift. Okay, so gift number 2, it's in this black container. Yeah, black sleeve. And it has a red insert. And part of me is going, did you just give me a Horcrux or something? Like, is this thing haunted? It's a puzzle. The ultimate puzzle solid brass.
It's the ultimate puzzle, Julie.
Solid brass. And there's a little pouch that has a question mark on it. And am I supposed to...
this thing is backed on red velvet, and you've got the puzzle pieces above a packet that's labeled with this golden question mark. It looks like something the Riddler has left for the Batman.
Wait, are you the Riddler or am I Batman?
Oh, neither. Come on. Oh, don't look too closely at that. So what you've got there is...
Oh, it's the answer key.
Right. You really reading this one. The question mark one. The one that was in the front.
Well, I don't know which one's the front
So there's
anymore.
a couple of pieces of paper. One is showing you how to solve the puzzle. The other one is explaining what you're trying to do with the puzzle. But you don't have to go through the whole thing right now. But yeah, that's...
it would be dead air for like 45 minutes
I'm gonna tinker
before I
with
give
this
up.
for an hour and a half.
This is awesome. And also, like, such a cool way to present. Like, I have friends that we love these types of puzzles. I don't even think you knew that I like these types of puzzles.
I didn't know you had friends.
Oh. But, like, it's such a neat way to present a gift, this type of puzzle. And also the fact that it's brass, because a lot of these puzzles today are wooden or plastic. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna solve it.
once you do put it together, it's a cool piece of like desk art or something like that.
I love it, Jake. Thank you
I
so
thought you would.
much.
Yeah. $5 total. So you see an estate sale sign doesn't mean you got to be in the market for something big. You can just pop in, spend $3, and you've got somebody's stocking stuffer set.
I absolutely love it. It was let's see, this was made in 1969.
Yep.
Made in Japan.
Nice.
Yeah. So eat your heart out, but it's not written in Japanese, it's just written in English. So I only have to learn German.
Right.
So
Yeah.
this is the gift that keeps on giving with homework.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so you ready for your gift?
Yes, I am.
Yours has a long and storied past. So, I'm going to let you open it here in just a second as soon as I put this thing back together. I used a website that anyone can use to find estates sales. I think it's estatesale.net or something like that. And there was one just down the street from my house, and I thought, perfect, I don't want to spend that much money or time or gas to go find Jake's present, but it was kind of like my first stop of like, hey, let me see what's out there, see if there's something I can find. This estate sale is run by a company called Consignment Crush. They actually have a store location that you can go to, so they sell things on consignment. They also run estate sales for families. And the estate sales are for people that have passed away. Their family needs to clean out the house. For people that are moving and need to downsize. For people that are moving and they just don't want to take all this stuff with them. And a lot of their items are very cool. Like you have a lot of mid-century modern pieces. They had one piece of furniture that, well, several pieces of furniture there were all like silver. And it almost took
Silver furniture?
Silver furniture. They had a mirror. They had a dresser. I think they had a side table, a coffee table. But it was all meant to look like an airplane type thing. Wow. So, if you don't have a lot of sun coming into your house, because I just imagine like the reflection starting a fire. But it was very amazing stuff that they had there, and the people there, I got to talk to them, were super nice. So this estate sale was actually in a storage unit. So as I'm walking up, I'm like, oh, this is pretty sketch. This is where I die, folks. So, like I'm trying to buy Jacob a gift, and that's where I died. But once you go into in the storage unit, it's actually really nice. It's very well kept. They had 3 rooms. 2 of the rooms, they had everything marked full price or their price. And then one of the rooms, it was anything in here is 70% off.
Okay.
And I bought your gift, and anything but the set, anything in there is 70% off.
Okay.
So, I'm going to unveil your gift.
Okay.
And if you don't want it, I will keep it, because I love this thing.
Okay.
I've told so many people about it. Our whole family knows what this gift is, and they know the whole backstory. But they all said I had to give it to you.
Wow. So what Julie just took the blanket off of here in a very dramatic unboxing moment, it was great audio, it was just quiet, seems to be hand-painted movie poster, not at all photorealistic, which makes it really charming, Kill Point. And so it's very action-oriented. I'm going to have to look this thing up.
Oh, no, I'm going to tell you all about it.
Oh, please do. So I'm just going to describe here. It kind of looks like a version of Jack Nicholson holding a machine gun. And, he's the backdrop. And there's a city skyline. There's explosions. There's other henchmen with guns. Everybody's really... it's not the most photorealistic thing, but this is quite awesome. It's good in the bad way.
Yes, yes. So, and also we're going to post all these pictures of our gifts on our Instagram channel at Garage Sales Unhinged. Okay, so I walked in, I saw this leaning up against a window. There's other things in front of it, and it caught my eye, and I was like, okay, that is one, funny, two, very cool. And I'm like, oh, man, that's awesome. But the thing was, it did not have a price tag on it.
Okay.
And I'm going, man, I don't know how much this thing is. So this is also 40 inches by 50 inches.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's very large. It's also signed by the artist.
Yeah. Well, now, is the signature down there? Or oh, no, wait. Leo Fong is maybe the actor.
Leo Fong is the actor. However, it's not that actor.
Okay. Even better. Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why all this stuff
Okay,
is
please.
happening.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So I talked to the folks at the consignment company, said, hey, I'd love to get this painting, told them what we were doing, and I told them my budget was $10. They sold it to me for $10.
Okay.
It is worth a lot more than $10.
You'll have to explain that.
So this...
I mean, honestly, there's a lot more than $10 worth of work that went into this thing.
Yes. So Kill Point is a movie. You can actually watch it on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube. It's horrible. Awesome. So like, it's a cult classic horrible movie. And if you and your friends are drinking or you just want to have a funny movie night, watch this. It's great. I started watching it on YouTube one night, and the plot's real hard to follow. The storyline's real hard to follow. I'm going to say the lead actor in it, his name is Leo Fong. Leo Fong is a Chinese-American actor. His family came over from China in the late 20s, early 30s. Landed in Seattle. They were in internment camp for a little bit, and then once they were out of the internment camp, because at the time everyone from an Asian country had to go to an internment camp at that time, his family then went to Chicago, where he had an uncle that had a business, and his dad was able to work in that business, saved up enough money, and then bought a grocery store in like Arkansas or Alabama. Like, really weird that they just went to like this middle of nowhere place to start having business. Leo Fong grew up in American schools. He was being bullied a lot as a kid, so he learned how to box. So he became, pretty savvy in boxing. Then a little bit later on in life, he started taking up, I think it was jiu-jitsu and judo. Leo Fong actually has he has a master's in theology and a master's in, I think, public works or civil works or something like that. He got into movies, and he was actually a friend of Bruce Lee. Okay. There's actually, if you want to go to Leo Fong's Wikipedia, there's a series of movie genres named after him. And I can't remember whatever it's called, but this poster actually comes from the country of Ghana. Okay. Which is, for those that are not familiar, this is a Ghana...
That's what it is. Yeah, I recognize the style. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Kill Point came out in 1984. So the way that Ghana promoted movies in their country in the 80s and 90s, they had mobile cinemas. And so you had people that would take a generator, a VCR player, and a TV or a projector to various villages, and it became a social environment for those villages to get together and watch movies. Horror movies were real popular at the time. They didn't get a lot of the like brand new Hollywood blockbuster movies, but they got a lot of, I'm gonna say, B-rated, C-rated movies. But Ghana did not have the technology to print movie posters, and so they hired local artists to create these movie posters, so then the mobile cinemas could take it around to the villages, and people would know what movie is going to be playing at the mobile cinema at that time. So this is from one of those mobile cinemas.
So may I ask, so that's great, and if listeners are familiar with Ghana movie posters, cool, but if not, just a quick description, they're very exaggerated.
Yes.
Very exaggerated. sometimes they seem to try to portray a scene or 3 or 4 from a film. And if you're familiar with the film, you've seen it, and then you see these posters, you kind of recognize some of the scenes they portray, but there are times that there are things being portrayed, you're like, that doesn't even come close to happening in this film. Nicolas Cage does not shoot lasers out of his eyes.
I think there's a poster of Dazed and Confused, and some of the people, like there's 3 people doing karate, and everyone has a gun. There's none of that in Dazed and Confused.
So I'm guessing, like, the explanation of that is, hey, if we want this thing to do numbers, we need butts in seats.
Yeah.
And showing a poster, I mean, like, what the hell do you even say Dazed and Confused is even about?
Right.
What's going to get people here? Explosions. People shooting at each other with paddles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that was kind of the thing. This poster is movie culture. It's part of the movie pop culture references. It's part of Ghana's culture. Mm-hmm. It's also part of marketing.
Sure.
Because a lot of these mobile cinemas, they did exaggerate these movie posters to get people to come in to watch the movie. Now, and as I was reading up on these, sometimes the artist would be able to watch the movie and then they would create the poster from what they saw. A lot of times they were just told, well, hey, yeah, this is the name of the movie. Here's the actor of it. They may see like a still shot of it, but they had nothing else to go off of. And so then the artist just had to be creative with it.
I kind of like that. I wish we'd bring that back. You just tell them, here's the title, here's photos of the actors that are in it, make people want to see it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you've got a hand-drawn poster of Remains of the Day.
Yeah.
And Anthony Hopkins with 2 Uzis, in a butler suit.
Well, and so Ghana, during this time, they didn't have the technology to print off movie posters.
Yeah.
And so this was a way to get people come in. Today, and also they didn't have, before I go into what they're doing today, they didn't have canvases in Ghana. So they used whatever was readily available that was similar to an artist's canvas. So this is actually painted on flour sacks.
Awesome.
This is why it's such a weird shaped poster, is because, and on the back of it, I showed Jacob, on the back, it looks dirty. It looks like someone
It almost looks like mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like someone set down like a paint can on here and like there's dirt on it and all that stuff. And even whenever I got it in my car, I was like, what is all this dirt on here? Da, da, da. Also, whenever I bought this, I was so excited that I got it at my first stop. I got it in my car. I get in my car and then I text Jacob. I'm like, hey, I got your present. I'm so excited. And then I came home and started doing research about it. I was like, oh, I don't want to give it to him now. But it's actually painted on flour sacks.
So this is a 1 of 1.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Ghana artists are still creating things today. So there's a couple of Ghana artists that they actually, they paint coffins, but it's more like ceremonial coffins. But again, they're beautiful art pieces. It's part of that culture there. There are some artists that still paint movie posters today. However, Ghana now has the technology and the equipment to print out movie posters.
Bummer.
The cinemas also, there's not a lot of cinemas in Ghana anymore. Mm-hmm. Mobile cinemas has kind of gone away, especially with people have internet, they have TVs in their own homes. So doing a mobile cinema it's no longer really a thing there, which is kind of sad because that's where like on a Friday night socializing, and they would do mobile cinemas in someone's house, and if the weather was nice, they would do it outside and like put up a sheet and watch the movie together.
There are places that still do that.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like what you're describing is kind of a bummer to have lost. That, in a lot of ways, technology kind of eradicates community.
Yeah.
And that's what's wonderful about this gift. Thank you so much for it. And Donna posters anyway, is that they're imperfect, that they are estimations mm-hmm. that only people can make, and that's what makes them worthwhile and special. The precision of technology isn't genuine.
Yeah.
It's good for it to be messy. It's good for it to be a little inaccurate. Yeah. To color outside the lines a little bit. That's where you meet people, and that's what's beautiful about this.
Well, and again, I really like this thing because I think it's very cool, but it's also going to look great in your house. And part of me is like, whenever I bought it, I was like, oh, this is going to look great. And then also, you're big into movies. Your minor in undergrad was film. Your daughter's big into movies. I'm going, I'm never going to see this thing again. But until I go visit you. But yeah, so whenever I was looking it up, if you actually want to buy a Ghana movie poster and you can't find it at a estate sale, they are, sometimes they show up in auctions. And so this is just based off of what I've seen at auctions. A Ghana movie poster from the 1980s, 1990s. Now, the movie itself is going to adjust the value of it.
Sure.
So a more popular movie, it's going to have a greater value than maybe Kill Point. I don't know.
I think I've seen one of Gone with the Wind where everyone's shooting guns.
Yeah.
Everyone's shooting guns and kicking down burning doors and stuff. It's like not the movie, but
the man, that would have been a good movie.
yeah, it's the sequel. Goner with the Wind. Wind Harder.
So what I saw is a lot of times these Ghana movie posters at auctions start at $200. Wow. And then they can go upwards to several thousand.
Wow.
So the consignment crush was great to work with me on this. And I felt really bad for only like, okay, here's my few dollars.
So you said they didn't have a price tag on it, but when you mentioned what we were doing, did it seem clear that they had a price in mind beforehand? Were they kind of going, man, we were going to charge $100 for this thing? Like, where do you think they were?
I don't know. So they were supposed to go look to see how much they were supposed to be charging for it. What happens with estate sales, if not all the time, but if not everything sells in an estate sale, a lot of times the family will be like, hey, we don't have anything to do with this, or we don't have a need for this. Estate sale company, you keep whatever doesn't sell. And so this was an item that did not sell in an estate sale. And so this family ended up gifting it to this company. And so whatever they made off of it was just 100% profit, right?
So at this point, it was just taking up inventory.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was honestly, it was leaning up against a window. It was, the sun glares coming in on it. Other things were stacked in front of it. I did. Yeah. I rescued it. And part of me was like, it should be professionally framed, but that fell out of my $10 budget. So I give you the gift of, you need to spend more money.
Gotcha. Great.
But it's very cool. The other thing is highly encourage you to watch the Kill Point movie. I think you'll appreciate it, or maybe you won't and be like, Julie, that was horrible. But to have this kind of pop culture art in your house with the whole movie industry, history behind it, history of the Ghana people, Leo Fong, I mean, the whole thing of I've never even heard of this actor, and he was in a lot of movies. He was a Methodist minister before he became an actor, and and I think he was on the cover of a magazine, and the reason he was on the cover of a magazine is because Bruce Lee had him be on the cover of the magazine. I'm like, you have a direct connection to Bruce Lee. You have all this stuff. So
what you're saying is now I'm a certified badass.
You want a certificate that says that?
I would actually. Yes. I've mailed in enough things to the Kellogg company. I get the decoder ring and a certificate saying, don't mess with him.
So yeah, that's your gift.
Thank you so much. Wow. I spent $5 total.
I love my gifts. Those are awesome.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
This was such a fun adventure of talking with people at the estate sale and learning how they do their business. They have an estate. They have their storage unit open every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then their shop is also open throughout business hours throughout the week. And then they also manage estate sales as well. So they're doing a lot of stuff. They have a lot, like I said, they have a lot of amazing things. The people there are great to talk to and work with.
Consignment Crush. Did they also give you some advertising dollars?
They gave me a very nice
They gave you a great deal. They sound awesome. I'll have to look them up.
But also having a room full of things that are 70%, and also some of the furniture, if I had room in my house, I would have bought some of that furniture because they had something in there. It was almost like the Dewey Decimal card system.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it would have been a great, like, furniture piece in your house.
You mean a library index card file?
Yeah, it's also called that. Shut up.
Okay. Because it's that... I mean, in all fairness, it's not like a Dewey Decimal card system. It in fact is a Dewey Decimal card system.
Anyway, they had some really nice things. But part of me is... I still have more Christmas shopping to do for our family. Your daughter, by the way, like, some of the stuff that she had on her list, I'm like, oh, I want to go to a garage sale. I want to go to a estate sale and find something for her. And now I'm kind of like on this warpath of trying to find some cool jewelry for all the nieces. And so, and plus now it's just fun for me that I'm like, now, but it's very much like this is the season of one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me. And so I'm like, Julie, stop buying stuff for yourself, because if I had had time to go to more estate sales, garage sales, you might not be getting this poster. But I didn't have time, so you're getting it.
I'm down for it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Merry Christmas, Julie.
Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to you, listener. Or Happy Holidays and etc.
We'll see everyone in 2025. And have a safe and wonderful holiday season.
Go watch Kill Point. Yeah!
Bye!